gotta go deposit a check.
Burglars, take action to protect your home.
Excuse me, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to power down your little word game. I think your friends will understand.
Oh, no, it's actually my Geico app. See? I just paid my bill.
Did you really? From the plane?
Yeah, I can manage my policy, get roadside assistance, pretty much access Geico 24/7.
Sounds a little too good to be true, sir. I'll believe that when pigs fly.
Okay, did she seriously just say that?
Geico. Just a click away with our free mobile app.
Only with 10, it's a crime happening on virtually every valley street.
That we are prisoners in our own homes.
How we can work together to buck the trend and beat the bad guys. It's a brand new weight loss drug, and it's already showing incredible results.
It's took away all my cravings.
We tracked the progress of 3 Arizona patients. Plus, they thought she was dead for decades.
Very frankly, I quit on my family.
What brought their loved one to our state in secret? Breaking news right now. Every single news station in Orlando is on this story. Explosions rocking the Blue Rhino propane plant. The roof blown off during a full hour of continuous blasts. And we are just confirming 10 of the 24 people working at that plant are missing. Anybody within a mile of there has been evacuated. And there's a lot more information coming in. Our producers are monitoring these live pictures. We'll let you know of any updates during this very newscast. Tonight, back here at home, we're taking action after a Fountain Hills woman is attacked and tied up in her own home. She just happened to walk in on a burglar. We're digging up stats showing it could happen to any of us, usually in broad daylight. So we want to make sure you're doing everything in your power to stay safe. ABC 15's Adam Slinger is joining us live tonight. And Adam, we hear about burglaries all the time. This burglar is just the latest and is still on the run.
And hopefully he will be caught soon, Katie. In the city of Phoenix last year, burglary was the second most common crime, nearly 18,000 of them. Police say one of the best ways to protect you and your property, form a neighborhood watch. That way you always have other eyes on your house for you.
We do random patrols.
He's taking action in his Mesa neighborhood.
I can tell you every car that drives by and what time and even how fast they're going.
Ben Smith is a neighborhood watch commander.
When a burglar is looking at a house, they're gonna look for 2 things. They're gonna look for an easy way in and no obstructions. Obstructions can be a security system.
Ben says this folder has the information of almost everyone on his street. So if something seems out of the ordinary,
your car does stand out to me.
He can call his neighbor right away.
You've almost got to think like a criminal when you're out on your patrol.
And criminals will try to think like you, too. The woman who lives in this Fountain Hills home was attacked when she stumbled upon a burglar. Investigators say it's possible the culprit may have studied this woman's schedule, thinking she'd be gone for a while, but she just happened to come home earlier than she normally does.
Maybe we should give these burglars a little more time in jail.
Sheriff Joe Arpaio says the burglar tied the woman up, beat her, and then took off. When her son and son-in-law finally found her, she was too afraid to even call 911.
I think he said, "We will be back if you call the cops."
And detectives say she has some pretty bad facial injuries, but she should be okay. Some of the Block Watch members tell me that they walk around their neighborhood with a cell phone in hand. That way they can always call police right away if they see something. Katie, they also say it's best not to walk alone. Walk your dog or just go with another neighbor.
Yeah, you just figure you're safe going back into your own home. It's incredible, and hopefully people will watch out for this guy. Thanks, Adam. So you've heard the perspective from Phoenix Police and the Sheriff's Office. Listen to the stats that we're getting from DPS. There is a burglary every 10 minutes in our state. A property crime roughly every 2.5 minutes. And before this time tomorrow night, they expect 143 burglaries in our state. That's based on the numbers they submit to the FBI. We're tracking the search for the Fountain Hills burglar and this alarming Valley trend, so count on continuing coverage right here. Right now, take a good look at these sad eyes and see if you can help. This dog found abandoned and in pretty bad shape at Pinal County Animal Care and Control over the weekend. They think she was dropped off after the shelter closed, and you can see the gashes there in her neck. That's from a metal collar that had to be surgically removed by vets because it was on so tight. Here's where all of you come in. You're being asked to contact the shelter if you know that dog's history or you know who her owners are. All that contact info is on abc15.com. The dog's not up for adoption yet, but we'll keep you posted on that development as well. You're about to see some new video of flash flooding leading to a very close call over the weekend. We're also hearing 911 calls coming from inside that tour bus washed away in high water.
We have an emergency. I have a bus, and we have a lot of people in the bus. We're in the middle of the flood.
Okay.
And the water goes inside the bus. The water is inside the bus right now.
The water's coming into the bus right now?
Yeah.
Well, the bus, as we've told you, carried about 300 yards before flipping on its side near Dolan Springs. All 33 people on board managed to climb out the windows safely. The group was headed back to Vegas from the Grand Canyon. And we asked about the stupid motors law here in our state, and we're waiting on word on whether the bus driver will be cited. Tonight, baseball fans everywhere are remembering this former major leaguer. Frank Castillo pitched for 6 different teams, but his friends and family say he was not a good swimmer, and Castillo drowned in Bartlett Lake. He had a home here in Scottsdale. He retired back in 2005. His family releasing a statement to us tonight, thanking all of you wonderful fans who cheered for him over the years. Castillo was just 44. An unprecedented first tonight coming from Pope Francis. He's showing compassion toward the gay community publicly. And tonight, the Catholic community in our valley has a lot to say. ABC 15's Monica Lempert joins us live. And Monica, a lot of people you spoke with applaud Pope Francis for that statement and what he said about women in the Catholic Church as well.
Yes, Katie, many people I spoke to feel that the Pope's message shows compassion like they've never seen before. And Bishop Thomas Olmsted of the Phoenix Diocese says the Pope's message really encourages the Catholic teaching that the Church is open to all people. But Olmsted also says that homosexual activity is contrary to the gospel of Christ. Pope Francis making headlines, saying priests shouldn't be judged for their sexual orientation. After celebrating World Youth Day in Brazil, he spoke frankly with reporters aboard his flight back to the Vatican, saying we shouldn't judge people for this. They should be integrated into society. And if someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and has goodwill, who am I to judge?
It's absolutely amazing that people in higher powers are starting to get out there and put their opinions out there and start to support things like this.
Savannah Williams is just one of the many who find the Pope's statement empowering and promising.
Let it happen. About time. Time for a change on this planet.
It may not have changed Catholic practices, but it's left an impact on those who've heard his message. A message that went on to include the role of women in the Church. Pope Francis also stated the role of women doesn't end with being a mother and with housework. It's not granting women the same rights as men in the Catholic Church, but Williams says it's a statement worth celebrating.
We need to start embracing it rather than pushing it away, because you'd rather be on the right side of history than the wrong.
Now, Katie, these are very sensitive issues for everyone that we spoke to tonight about the Pope's message. Those who disagree weren't willing to go on camera to give their message tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see on Sunday if it's incorporated into some of the masses as well.
Yeah,
Thank you, Monica. Some developments now on a deadly crash we've been covering for you since 4 this morning. We're confirming 23-year-old Nancy Patino was killed, and it was her car that drifted over the median near 35th Avenue in Maryland, hitting a Saturn SUV head-on. Phoenix police tell us it appears alcohol was a factor, and the 2 teens inside that Saturn are going to be okay. She jumped in her car and headed to Arizona, nothing but the shirt on her back. Not even her own family knew where she went. But tonight, Betty Lukic is part of a big family reunion in her home state of Maine. Her sisters and her daughter thought she was dead for decades, but Betty found her relatives by using a family tree website, and the rest, that's history. Betty says she gave up battling her ex-husband over custody of their children and drove as far away as she could. 33 years later, she's just so grateful to have her family back.
Very happy. Very, very happy to be back with all my family.
Betty says she's planning to move to North Carolina to live with one of her daughters and make up for lost time. Some new information now. An arrest after last week's vandalism at landmarks in D.C. Police arrested 58-year-old Tian Jamil for the latest hit. But all 3 have similar green paint. The Lincoln Memorial was hit Friday, as we told you, then a statue outside the Smithsonian headquarters on the National Mall. And lastly, the city's national cathedral. We're continuing, as promised, to track that breaking news out of Orlando. A huge propane explosion at the Blue Rhino plant, and several workers are missing. We're now understanding at least 2 burn patients have been taken over to the hospital in critical condition. Nearby homeowners are reporting that their homes shook after the first big explosion, and the smaller blasts have almost been constant.
I forget to eat sometimes. It's now about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I had a half a banana this morning, and that's it. I'm not hungry.
Yeah, and this is not a fad. This is an actual FDA-approved drug for weight loss. Tonight, the ABC 15 investigators follow 3 patients and show you some incredible results.
And it's been a very quiet and dry monsoon day, but these conditions won't last long. I'll tell you when the storm chances ramp up again.
Coming up in sports, Yankees third baseman Alex Rodriguez is in a lot of trouble. A-Rod, the guy who was once the shining star in baseball, is now the biggest black eye the league has ever seen.
Plus, who will soon be playing Hillary Clinton on TV, and how much of the role is personal. And what's the deal with free divorces being offered in the Valley? It's all new on ABC 15 in just moments.
With so much going on at Golfland Sunsplash, it's no wonder everyone is getting their splash on. Well, almost everyone. Arizona's premier destination for fun has the biggest rides and smallest lines, along with so many fun activities. And of course, free parking every day. With Revolution, Thunder Falls, Storm Rider, and more, it's impossible not to get your splash on. The home of affordable family fun is Golfland Sunsplash, online and on US 60 in Mesa.
Get your splash on!
We are the people of Arizona, and we are family. We can see ourselves in the faces of our children, and we hope for a world with the values our parents passed on to us. At ABC 15, we're taking action to make Arizona an even better place to live, to empower your life and keep your family safe, so you always know what's coming next. We are ABC 15, taking action.
Casey Jackson tweets, "Oh, it's cool. It's not like I had plans or anything. Hashtag stupid car." Casey, stop by the Honda Summer Clearance event and get a great deal on a new Civic. It comes standard with Bluetooth and Pandora compatibility. So instead of being all hashtag stupid car, you could be all hashtag yeah.
Get a great deal on the fuel-efficient Civic at the Honda Summer Clearance event, happening now.
On the train test range, the search for any possible weakness continues. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard.
Get no interest financing for 15 months, plus up to a $1,250 trade-in allowance when you purchase a qualifying high-efficiency Trane heating and cooling system. Visit Trane.com to find a participating independent Trane Comfort Specialist dealer and learn more. That's Trane.com.
It's hard to stop a train.
Tonight's ABC 15 investigation involves the most exciting new diet drug now on the market. We're not talking fad diets or outrageous claims. We're talking about one of the first FDA-approved drugs in more than a decade. It's called Belviq, and it's different because it tells your brain you're not hungry, not your stomach. We had trouble finding doctors in the Valley who prescribe it. It's that new. But we did find 3 patients taking it, and they're letting us track their progress.
I ate a lot of cakes, a lot of stuff with sugar.
Meet Naomi Flores. She's 47 years old and wants to lose 25 pounds.
There are a few foods I don't like.
Howard Greenseth is 80 and has been overweight most of his life.
I would always have to have a snack before I went to bed.
And William Clausen, 51, wants to lose more than 100 pounds. All 3 are taking the new weight loss drug Belviq, and all 3 have already noticed a change in their eating habits.
By the 3rd day, I really had to think, what do I want? I'm really not hungry.
It's took away all my cravings away.
I forget to eat sometimes.
America is the 2nd fattest country in the world, losing out to Mexico by just 1%. The Federal Drug Administration approved Belviq last year, but manufacturers didn't put it on the market until recently.
I've written about 240 prescriptions.
Dr. Stephen Vig has an internal medicine practice in Tucson.
I've had some really good responses from my patients who say that they're losing weight without side effects.
The drug is recommended for people who are obese, and it's an easy category to fit into these days. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, it's estimated 36% of Americans are obese. That means your body mass index, or BMI, is more than 30.
The drug is not a fat burner. It simply lowers your appetite, decreases your cravings for food.
While most diet drugs work as an appetite suppressant in your stomach, Belviq works as a suppressant in your brain.
This thing actually targets a receptor in the brain which is very specific for appetite. It's almost like a laser gun going to the appetite center of your brain.
But not all doctors are sold. Dr. Heidi Rula is with the Integrative Health Center in Phoenix. She says the drug is too new.
I don't think it's been given to enough patients and watched over time to be able to prove the safety of that drug.
She doesn't treat obesity with pills. They use alternative therapies like chiropractic and acupuncture.
We feel that lifestyle is incredibly important to health. So we're going to look into things like nutrition and stress and exercise.
She's not alone. We had trouble finding doctors in the Valley prescribing the new drug. The ABC 15 investigators called a dozen doctors and several weight loss clinics and found many who wouldn't try it just yet. But doctors at the Scottsdale Weight Loss Center already prescribe it.
I've written for about a dozen prescriptions so far.
Dr. Robert Ziltzer says with Belviq and an overall treatment plan, he's seeing dramatic weight loss.
This, amongst all the other things we can offer patients, is just making it easier to treat this very, very complex disease.
So is it working?
I can tell already that my clothes is not as tight.
So far, Naomi's lost 6 pounds.
It's just been absolutely amazing.
Howard says the key is to exercise and eat at least 3 times a day.
I have full mobility and it's like a miracle.
He's lost 17 pounds.
You just don't think about food anymore.
So has William.
Before, I would go back for seconds and thirds till it's all gone, and now I don't do it.
There's never been a need for a drug like Belviq in the past as much as there is right now.
Belviq is pricey. It's more than $200 for a month's supply. The manufacturer does offer a discount card, and our patients tell us that with the money they save eating less, they actually break even. We're going to follow Naomi and Howard and William over the next few months. We'll let you know how well the drug is working and how much weight they lose. Tonight's talker, an already controversial website, is offering the Valley a controversial deal. You can get a free divorce from SugarDaddy.com if you live in the Valley. Why? The website's founder says he's always hearing people complain about how expensive a divorce can be in our state, and he wants to help people gain real independence in their lives. Now, the average cost of a divorce in our area, $329 an hour. That ranks Phoenix 7th in the nation, according to attorneyfees.com. Let's not forget, SugarDaddy.com encourages women to date successful men with money. So how do you feel about them offering the Valley this divorce deal? Head to abc15.com or ABC15 Arizona Facebook page to comment. We also posted the details on the divorce offer in case you're curious. Hillary Clinton's life story, the focus of a couple of new projects we're just learning about. CNN Films producing a feature-length documentary on the former First Lady and Secretary of State. It'll premiere next year. On top of that, another network is planning to run a new miniseries, and Clinton will be played by actress Diane Lane. No release date for that one just yet, but it sounds like her personal struggles will be a big part of the storyline. All right, the big story in weather tonight is actually a place we'd normally love to be, but it doesn't sound so nice tonight.
Not so pleasant, unfortunately, for those folks that are visiting Hawaii. This is not a great time for them. Tropical depression now, Flossie. So here's the good news. It has weakened. It weakened as it moved just north of the Maui area, but it is still a tropical depression, and it is still dropping quite a bit of rainfall, about 3 to 4 hours of rain per hour as it continues to track off to the west-northwest. Now, the good news is that because now it's a tropical depression, we're talking winds up to 35 miles an hour. Again, the heavy rain is still a threat, but the winds are not as strong. It'll continue to move off to the west-northwest at 16 miles an hour. Again, right now located east of Honolulu. And by tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours, it'll be well away from the Hawaiian Islands, and it'll become an area of low pressure. So they've just got to deal with it through the rest of today. And flash flooding is still going to be an issue today and even into tomorrow. But at least the tropical warnings, tropical cyclone warnings, there aren't any more, and no watches either. Very dry across the state here. They're getting plenty of rain in Hawaii and in other parts of the country. But again, it has been very, very quiet across all of our state with very little activity, even over the last 12 hours. Much of the activity that we did see today was along northern Arizona. You see a little bit of cloud cover there, some showers, a few isolated thunderstorms, those all pushing off to the east, many of them firing up and then really dissipating fairly quickly. A little bit of cloud cover in southeastern Arizona right now, but overall it's been fairly dry across much of our state. With those drier conditions, our temperatures of course warmed up. We hit a high of 107 degrees today at Sky Harbor. Now we are finally back into the 90s. We are at 97 at Sky Harbor with the mid 90s in Deer Valley and in Scottsdale, upper 90s in the Chandler area. Our dew points have been much lower today than they have been here over the last few weeks. They've been in the 40s all day today, so you may have noticed when you stepped outside it wasn't as muggy. That's because our dew points weren't as high. When they're in the 60-degree range or higher, then that's when it starts to feel really sticky. And that's when we have that good monsoon moisture, and that's when we have that monsoon moisture that we need to get those storms. But because you notice all around the state, they're in the 40s, even a few low 50s out there. It has been so dry that today we didn't see that big storm chance like we have been seeing here much of July. We have an area of high pressure off to our east and an area of low pressure off the California coastline, and that's bringing in that dry southwesterly flow. And this flow is going to stick around as we head into tomorrow. So tomorrow, another day with very limited storm chances, except for in northern Arizona, far northern Arizona, and possibly some of those higher elevations along eastern Arizona. As we head into Wednesday, though, some changes. A disturbance off to our south in Mexico will usher in a little bit more moisture. We'll start to bump up our storm chances as we head into Thursday and into Friday. Wednesday, we'll be on the lookout for possibly some dust as some storms could develop in southeastern Arizona. But again, tonight, tomorrow, fairly quiet across our state. 63 tonight in Sedona, 61 in Payson, 67 in Globe, 98 tomorrow in Globe, 89 in Prescott, and 96 in the Kingman area, 103 in the western parts of our state. Notice the valley tonight will drop into the 70s to low 80s, with tomorrow a day in the triple digits, but temperatures right around average. Average is 105. Tomorrow we'll see a high of 106.
The Cardinals' first-round draft pick joins in for his first practice with the team. What he has to say about his run test in front of the entire team.
0% financing. $10,500 cash back. Sanderson Ford presents Trucks of Steel. The most epic, anticipated truck sale of the year. The Sanderson Ford Summer Spectacular Sales Event. With blockbuster deals. Now playing at Sanderson Ford.
Nothing stays cold longer than a Polar Pop fountain or frozen drink from Circle K. The Polar Pop cups are made of polar foam. It keeps your drink cold longer than any other cup on the planet. Best of all, you can get any size cup for the same low price, just 79 cents. So pour yourself a Polar Pop fountain or frozen, any size cup, just 79 cents every day.
Pour yourself a Polar Pop.
Only at Circle K. What else do you need?
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Ronnie, how happy are folks who save hundreds of dollars switching to Geico? I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Hi, we're the Souls. We're new to town.
Welcome to Monroe.
So you can move more effortlessly.
Wanted to open a new account, checking and savings.
Oh, we can help with that.
We tend to do a lot of banking.
You play?
Yeah. Discover a mobile app that lets you bank more freely and feel at home more quickly. Chase, so you can.
I'm your Lincoln concierge. That's the Lincoln MKZ.
The roof is retractable with a panoramic opening. Book a test drive?
Absolutely.
Lincoln Concierge, always ready to help at Lincoln.com. Like right now during the Lincoln Summer Invitation. Get our best offers of the year on the all-new 2013 Lincoln MKZ during the Lincoln Summer Invitation on now.
These millionaires will change their identities to change people's lives. This summer, be inspired.
I have a check here for $280,000. I'm shaking. You ought to feel my heart.
Secret Millionaire returns Sunday on ABC.
And now, your Sanderson Ford Sports.
It's official. First-round draft pick Jonathan Cooper is in camp. The 6'2", 311-pound guard signed with the team yesterday and was on the field this afternoon. Now, the rest of the team reported to camp last Thursday and had to do a run test. So today, Coach Arians made Cooper do his run test in front of the entire team. Not easy for a guy his size, but he says he did pretty well.
That's debatable. No, I mean, I was pleased at how well I got through it. I was exhausted.
There you have it. Turning to baseball, in case you didn't know this, Alex Rodriguez is in a lot of trouble. He was one of the players involved with the Biogenesis Clinic in Florida that was selling HGH to athletes. Now we're hearing he may have even been recruiting other athletes to use that clinic. Rodriguez is now facing anywhere from a 50-game suspension to a lifetime ban. Major League Baseball says it may try to suspend him under the collective bargaining agreement instead of its drug policy, which would eliminate any chance of delaying that penalty. A-Rod's attorney says they'll fight any suspension or ban through that appeals process. For every 50 games he's suspended, get that, the Yankees would save $7.5 million. Hunter Mahan got a phone call before heading to the third round of the RBC Canadian Open this past weekend. Without hesitation, he put his clubs away, grabbed his bag, and headed off the course. The reason? His wife called to say she'd gone into labor. Mahan made it to Dallas in time to witness the birth of his first child, Zoe Olivia Mahan.
In this day and age in sports where we're kind of sick and tired of all the steroid athletes and all the misbehavior, to hear about a man who does that is pretty cool.
Yeah, from pretty cool to this. A-Rod's attorney says they'll fight any suspension or banishment from baseball through the appeals process. He also says Alex wants to play in the majors again and that his focus is just getting back to playing. Really? That's your primary focus? Every bit of evidence points to a guilty verdict, and now MLB says it has evidence that Rodriguez even tried to recruit other athletes to the Biogenesis Clinic, and A-Rod's telling us his primary concern right now is on playing again? Come on, Alex. Wake up and smell the coffee. His attorney says he'd be able to play during the appeals process, but don't you think baseball has other ideas like making a huge example out of him? Tonight, I have just one comment from Alex Rodriguez. You're acting like an idiot. You're already worth more than $300 million, and you cheated every step of the way to get it. It's time to just walk away. That's Fooey on sports.
So we'll see.
It's not
Did you
over.
hear, Craig?
It's not over.
It's not. I know.
Mercy.
All right. Well, we've been tracking some breaking news all night. We want to get back to that. Some new developments just coming out of those explosions at the Blue Rhino propane plant. A news conference was just wrapping up, and we understand that 15 workers are still missing. 7 had to be taken to the hospital. 2 are critically injured, suffering severe burns. 2 workers suffered no injuries at all. It's incredible. People within a half-mile radius of the plant had to be evacuated until at least 6 in the morning. So some just incredible live pictures coming in, and those explosions have not stopped. They've been rocking the plant for the last hour and a half. More after this.
ABC 15 News is brought to you by Prism by CenturyLink.
We invited people to get on the couch and try a new TV service that replaces cable and satellite. They were blown away. This is CenturyLink Prism.
It's like a smartphone for your TV.
It's incredible. It's fast. It's furious.
I think it's fantastic.
Way more channels for way less money. That's all you have to say.
So where you been with this thing?
Well, Prism TV's now in Phoenix.
I am switching to CenturyLink.
Get on the couch and try Prism TV today. You'll want to switch too.
Farmers presents 15 seconds of smart. So, you want to protect your car. Set your brake, change your blades, wheels toward the curb, wheels away from the curb. Turn into a skid, hide your stuff, get a wax, and of course, talk to farmers.
Hi.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum.
The
The people of Arizona.
The people of Arizona.
The people of Arizona declare our intent
to create a clean election system.
A clean election system
that will improve the integrity of Arizona state government
by diminishing the influence of special interest money.
Will encourage citizen participation.
Will encourage citizen participation
in the political process.
And will promote freedom of speech.
Under the U.S. and Arizona constitutions.
Run for office or support those who do. Visit cleanelections101.com.
With all La Quinta's peppy people packing on the perks and pampering.
How's your room, Steve?
Love it. Good meeting, Steve.
You know what salesman Steve Hatfield does? He brings home the bacon.
Daddy's home.
La Quinta Inns and Suites. Book your next successful stay at LQ.com.
Is a long time. 100,000 miles is a long way. So choose the right car. The Elantra. It carries Hyundai Assurance with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Test drive the Elantra during the 100,000 Reasons event. Learn why the Elantra holds its value better than any car in its class, according to ALG.
The Elantra, now only $139 a month, or get 0% financing for 60 months. Only at your Valley Hyundai dealers today.
We all have a higher calling in life, and being a mother is mine. When I was severely burned in a fiery plane crash, I was determined to survive. The Arizona Burn Center is sacred for me. I died there, came back, got stronger, made friends, and still continue friendships with those who saved my life. We all have a higher calling in life, and they certainly found theirs.
The Arizona Burn Center at Maricopa Medical Center, one of the healing wonders of the world.
New tonight, how would you react if you found this big guy in your front yard? Not just any Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket. This one's actually 7 feet tall.
I thought for sure that I was hallucinating, so I called my teenagers who were at home and checked to have them go outside. Too often we need something to laugh about, and so I put it on Facebook and told them that I would bring chicken to the next potluck.
Yeah. What happened last night? There's a KFC bucket in the front yard. Okay, so the juicy part of the story, where did this giant bucket come from? Turns out her landlord is actually a sign collector, and he wants to mount the bucket on a pole for good.
It's unusual, but it makes really good landmarks for when people come to our house. You can just say, come down to the giant, you know, the giant KFC bucket and turn right.
That's a don't miss. There's not really any food inside of the bucket. For that, you'd have to keep on driving another 5.5 miles.
How many pieces of chicken can go in that bucket?
Right. Hungry much? Night, everybody.
Thank you for watching ABC 15 News. On air, online, on mobile. Taking action.
Show dirt who's boss with Stanley Steamer, America's cleaning experts for 65 years. Our team goes beyond carpet cleaning to make your whole house clean and healthy with virtually no residue left behind. And right now, get 2 rooms of carpet and a hall professionally deep cleaned for just $99. Order now using promo code HOME for carpet, wood, tile, and more.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer gets carpet cleaner.
Mom, Dad, this is my new room. Look at all this cool stuff. Closet completely organized. Bulletin board, hamper for my laundry. I know, it looks expensive, but don't worry. I got it all at Ross. I saved you so much money. Like this comforter set. It's $50 at a department store. At Ross, it's less than $30.
For back-to-school savings, you gotta go to Ross. Visit our newest store in Avondale.
Isn't a clearance just a way to get rid of unpopular cars?
Oh, not the Honda Summer Clearance event. There's great deals on our most popular models. Like the 2013 CR-V. Right now you can lease one for just $229 a month, and the CR-V earned KBB's top 10 best resale value.
Wow. Thanks.
It's my job to be helpful.
Helpful? Can you help me pick a color? So, fake tans last how long? 3 weeks. Ugh. They all look terrible. Change of plans. I'm going to Ireland.
kind of a germaphobe.
Then you must sleep on a new mattress.
Not really. Why?
Well, after 8 years, your old mattress practically doubles in weight from dead skin, sweat, and millions of dust mites.
Dust mites. In my mattress.
That's where they feed and breed.
Sounds like I need to wash my hands all right. Of my old mattress.
Check your mattress tag. If it's over 8, it's time to replace. Mattress Firm. Save money. Sleep happy.
When you're diagnosed with cancer, it's natural to feel afraid. At Banner MD Anderson Cancer Center, we want you to know that you're not alone. You'll have a team that collaborates on your treatment plan and guides and supports you during your battle with cancer. And when you get your treatment plan that uses some of